Well, what is up, squad? Coach Chad here, the creator of the Health and Wealth Blueprint. How the heck are you doing? It's freaking Monday. Hope you guys had a great weekend. My weekend, it was good. It was good from a business standpoint, but from a personal standpoint, it was not so good. I'm a huge, avid New York Giants fan. Been a New York Giants fan since day one. It's just the way that my dad brought me up, and they fucking sucked yesterday. I thought, Brandon Pierce, what is up, bro? How the heck are you doing? Welcome into the live squad. I thought for some reason the Giants may have had a chance this year. I kind of talked myself into it. I was like, you know what? They'll be good this year. They got a better offensive line. You know what? They still got Eli. They'll be good. And they fucking sucked. Their defense looked like Swiss cheese. It was really, really horrible. They lost 35-17 to the Cowboys. But anyways, I digress. If you guys are watching on the replay squad, you know what to do. Hashtag replay squad in the comment section down below. If you're watching on the live squad like Brandon Pierce is, you also know what to do. Hashtag live squad in the comment section down below. Also, do not mind this monstrosity of a pimple. I guess I'm still going through puberty here, I guess. Still getting pimples as an adult, but hey, whatever. Wishful thinking, Brandon says. Brandon, what are you a fan of, man? What team is which team is yours, man? Let me know in the comment section down below. So, what I want to talk about with you guys today, and excuse me as I'm rummaging through my notes, is I want to talk about the two biggest challenges that I'm always freaking hearing from entrepreneurs and from real estate professionals and how we can actually overcome them. So the way that I've gathered this data is this. So the way that our sales process works is the first thing that we'll do is we'll hop on a 10 to 20 minute consultation call. That consultation call is 100% free. There's no sale that happens on that consultation call. Basically what it is really just to figure out if me and my staff can actually help the potential client, right? So we'll talk about the goals, we'll talk about the challenges, we'll talk about what they've been currently trying, and we'll really just try to gather information to see if we can actually help the person. And if we can, then we move on to a longer call, which would technically be called the sales call. It doesn't ever really feel like a sales call, it just feels more like a conversation, but that would technically be the sales call. So, every single time, almost literally 90%, every single time I get on that little consultation call that I just talked about and described to you, I'll hear this. When I ask the challenge question, I'll say, so what is the biggest challenge that's holding you back from achieving XYZ goal? The two things I always hear, now they don't say it exactly like this, they don't say it word for word like this, but basically if I can dissect what they're saying, these are the two biggest challenges I hear. Number one is a lack of strategy that matches their busy schedule. So what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is they don't have a strategy that they can consistently do on a weekly basis because they're so freaking busy. And the reason that is because most people think when they need to lose weight or they need to get healthy and fit, they need to spend hours in the gym. And as a real estate professional and also a business owner, it doesn't really make sense to apply, to apply that strategy. You really need something that's different. If you need less time, it needs to be more intense. It needs to be something that's more efficient. That's really what you need, is an efficient exercise plan and nutrition plan that fits into your busy schedule that allows you to be consistent. So there's three questions that I ask after that in order to determine what would be best for the individual. And this happens on the second call, not the first call. The first call, I just figure out what the challenge is. On the second call, we actually overcome that challenge because that is the sales call. That is the person that's becoming the potential client. So the way that we overcome that, the way that we figure out a game plan and a strategy for that specific client is this, and it's very simple. I'll ask three simple questions. The first one is, how much time per session can you devote to exercise? And there's really three different time frames that they have to choose from. One is 15 to 25 minutes per session. 2 is 30 to 45 minutes per session, and 3 is 45 to 60 minutes per session. I will never go over 60 minutes, and I will never go under 15 minutes for a workout or for the session. So I'll ask the client that. I'll say, so out of those three, which time frame can you be most consistent with? And then they'll tell me the time frame. And you feel free to do this exercise as you guys are listening right now. So the second thing I'll ask is, how many days a week can you exercise? On a bare minimum, work out 3 times a week. On a bare maximum, work out 6 times a week, right? So between 3 to 6 times a week, between 3 to 6 times a week, how many times are you going to commit to exercise? That's the question that I'll ask them. Jason Walker, welcome in here. Kevin Knight, welcome in here. You guys are diving in a little late, but that's okay. You can always watch on the replay. So the second question that I'll ask them is, how many days a week can you commit and consistently commit to exercise? A bare minimum of 3 and a maximum of 6. So then they'll give me that information and they'll tell me how many days a week they actually can work out. Then the last question I'll ask them is, do you want to perform these sessions in a gym or at home? And the reason I ask them that question is this, because if they tell me that they want to do it at home, they need a shorter workout plan. Then they more likely need the 15 to 25 minute workout plan. If they want to do it in a gym to make best use of their time and commute, they need a little bit of a longer workout plan. They need to be in there for about 30 to 45 minutes or 45 to 60 minutes. The second reason I ask that question is because of that, is because of the commute. If you pick the gym, ask yourself, can I consistently make it to the gym? Does the commute to the gym make sense for my busy schedule? Because a lot of times people will think, oh, I have to go to the gym if I want to lose weight, but it may not be realistic for your schedule. It may not be something that you can constantly make that commute to, spend the time in the gym, commute back. That may not fit your schedule. And that's why I asked that question of, do you want to perform these sessions and these workouts from your house? Or do you want to perform these sessions and your workouts from your gym? So guys, once again, the first challenge that I always hear is that the client or potential client doesn't have the right strategy that matches their busy schedule. They don't have something that allows them to be consistent within their crazy hectic schedule. And the way that we come up with that strategy is this, asking how much time can you devote per session, right? Number 2 is how many days a week can you realistically work out? Number 3 is, do you want to do these workouts from home or from the gym? And then the last thing that I give them, the last little tidbit that I give them, aside from once actually giving them the strategy once the client signs on, is I always recommend my clients to calendar this in, to actually physically calendar it into their calendar. Why? Because if you start treating exercise like it's a task in your business, which it should be, right? Because if you don't have your health, you don't have your wealth, you don't have your energy, you don't have your confidence, which are all things that are going to improve your business. I've heard it time in and time out, and I've seen it physically with my clients. The clients that are losing weight, the clients that are getting healthier, always do better in their business. They always do better in their business than the people that aren't, right? Or their counterparts. One of my clients specifically, and I know I'm getting off on a tangent here, Keith Christmas, who I talked to today, told me that this month he made over $70,000 this month in sales. And that was, he told me he was ranked top 5. I think he told me in his company he was ranked top 5 in the nation. And he said prior to starting the Health and Wealth Blueprint, prior to actually losing the weight, he would have never cracked the top 5. He told me he was in like the top 30. So actually getting healthy really, really does improve your wealth. It's not just something that I say. It's not just something that I say, oh, health and wealth. No, it really actually does. And Tony Mendez, one of my clients, is in here. He'll tell you the same thing as well. I know his car sales has increased, and his energy and his confidence has increased as a result of continuing to lose weight. So going back to what I was saying is, you got to schedule in your workouts. On a Sunday, and I'll do this specifically because I coordinate and I work out with a buddy, is we'll calendar it out a week in advance. We'll coordinate each other's schedules. I'll say, hey, when are you free on Monday? When are you free on Tuesday? When are you free on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday? And I'll literally block off the time that I'm going to go to the gym. For me, it's going to the gym. I have a little bit more flexibility to do that because I have some employees that help with the back end stuff. They help with the sales. They help with the coaching. So I have a little bit more flexibility to make it to the gym, to work out, and then come back. So we'll coordinate, and I'll literally block it off on my calendar so none of my salespeople can book calls for me on those times. It's already blocked off, and that's just going to be the time that I work out, and it's allowed me to be super consistent with that. So that is the number one challenge I hear all the time, is a lack of strategy that matches your busy schedule, that allows you to be consistent with exercise. The second thing I hear is either a lack of consistency, right? And what is a lack of consistency? That's really just a lack of accountability. And I'm not just talking about you holding yourself accountable. Of course, that's got to be part of it. But being accountable, I think, is a 50-50 partnership. I think it's a two-step process where you have to hold yourself accountable, and you also need somebody somebody else to hold you accountable, especially if it's something new, especially if it's something that you've struggled with. Maybe for business, when you first started your business, somebody else was holding you accountable, but then maybe over time, that accountability faded away because you didn't need it as much anymore because it was just becoming a part of your routine. Well, guess what? If health and fitness is new to you, if you haven't been doing it for over a year or a couple of years, then you're going to need that outside accountability. You're going to need somebody that checks in on you, that makes sure that you're actually doing what you're supposed to be doing. And if you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, you need a type of person that's going to give you the kick in the ass. And I'm not afraid to give somebody a kick in the ass, and I know my team members aren't afraid to give somebody a kick in the ass either. Because what a kick in the ass does is it motivates the person. They're like, oh shit, well I can't let Chad down, or I can't let Coach Mike down, or Coach Megan down. Let's make sure that we actually crush this thing so that we're being held accountable to somebody else and not just ourselves. And the other part of that relationship is you actually holding up your end of the bargain and doing what you're supposed to be doing, that the coaches are telling you what exactly to do. So guys, that's it. It was a relatively short live today. Those are the two biggest challenges I hear is one, you don't have an accountability and a support system, and two, you don't have a strategy that allows you to be consistent. The way that we overcome that, and I already gave you the questions that we asked to figure out the strategy, but essentially you need a strategy that you specifically can be consistent with, not what your friends are being consistent with, not what your spouse is being consistent with, what you are being consistent with, or what you should be consistent with your specific schedule. Because your schedule as a realtor, as a real estate professional, as a real estate investor, whatever it may be, as somebody who owns their own business is way different than the average person that goes to the gym, right? So you need a strategy that allows you to be consistent. The second thing you need is you need somebody to hold you accountable to that strategy. You need somebody to make sure that you're following the strategy so that you continue to get the freaking results, okay? Kevin Knight, you're still in here. Thank you, bro. I appreciate that, man. Hope you had a great weekend. But anyways, guys, those are the two things. That's how you overcome those two things. I hope you guys had a great start to your Monday, and I look forward to doing another live tomorrow. But in the meantime, health, wealth, and prosperity, baby. Peace!